It was my friend Parker that started it. Skinposting, that is. A blurry picture of what looked like the inside of her wrist appeared in all of our Instagram feeds, captioned simply, "Skin Post." I quickly scrolled past and shook my head, wondering why Parker always had to be so weird. Her brand of surreal humor sailed straight over the heads of everyone that knew her, and yet she always had a full factory production process of more incoming. When I logged on next, a few days later, I saw that there were a few more posts of extreme close-ups of people's faces, backs, and who knows where else. In the next hour, mine and everyone's feeds became saturated with skin. Some seemed to believe it was an odd body positivity trend. Others thought it was a statement for racial unity. My grandmother, who's always had a macabre sense of humor, posted a comment on one of them. "Oh, is it the anniversary of Jeffrey Dahmer's death or something?" I was getting weirded out by the whole thing. How the viral grip of bandwagoning spread like wildfire. I decided to call Parker. We hadn't talked in weeks, and I wanted to see what she thought about how much her random 3 a.m. post gained traction. "Hey, girlfriend," she answered ecstatically. "You'll never guess what happened. 3 of the top 10 influencers on Instagram have started skin posting." She cackled loudly, and I had to take my phone away from my ear until she stopped. "That's great, Parker. Who knew something like this would blow up so much?" I replied, severely less enthusiastic. This was suddenly the last thing I wanted to talk about. I'd seen enough skin to last me the rest of my life. Frankly, it freaked me out. Why would people do something so strange just for social media clout? "So, I haven't seen a skin post from you yet. I just started a skin posting page on Facebook. Could you help me out with it? I've been the only poster so far. I need more contributors." I closed my eyes and squeezed the bridge of my nose. She wasn't going to take no for an answer, was she? "I'm not really comfortable with that. Not really my thing," I sighed. "Oh, come on, you owe me one. Ever since I saved your butt from that creeper at the bar." She let her words hang in the air until I answered. "Sure, whatever. But this is the last favor you can milk for me on that. I'm using my alternate account, though." "Thanks, sweetheart. I'll send you the link." I braced myself, strangely leery of taking one simple photograph. I decided to choose my neck, zooming in the camera until all that could be seen was my skin. Maybe I was self-conscious about my body. Maybe this would be good for me. After I took the picture, the text with the link came and I switched accounts and posted it. It had a fake name and for when I wanted to comment or post without others being able to recognize me. The first comment came almost immediately from an account with no profile picture. It simply said $1. It gave me an uneasy feeling, to say the least. I checked the account and saw the account had no posts, almost like it had just been created. $12 came the next comment from a different account. No profile picture on this one either. I couldn't help but watch, wondering where was this going? $300, and the numbers kept rising. I started getting message requests as well, but I ignored those. It had been an hour, maybe 2, but I just watched, dumbstruck. With a burst of effort, I deleted the post and closed the app. That was enough internet for the day. I sat on the floor next to my couch with my phone on the floor next to me, thrown entirely off balance. What was wrong with these people, even if they were just joking? Anonymity does funny things to people. Could they be serious? I had no idea who these people were. I'd always been paranoid, but it made no sense that people would be auctioning for my skin on a public social network. It wasn't the dark web or anything. Nevertheless, I was relieved I'd used an alternative account. My phone buzzed next to me, and almost with an audible sigh of relief, I checked it. My heart sank. "Why did you delete your post?" from an unknown number. And then another text slid in with a ding. I will pay top dollar for your skin. $20,000. Final offer. I felt my heart starting to beat rapidly, the soles of my feet suddenly slick on the wooden floor. I don't know what you're talking about, I started typing. I think you have the wrong... When the next text came in like a brick to my gut. Felicia Jennings, 8852 Park Avenue, 21 years old. That right? They then began to list my birthday, social security number, and the name of my childhood dog. Come on, you'll never get a better offer, Felicia. You can live without your skin, especially with that kind of dough. I could almost imagine them laughing, thinking how dumb I must be to take them up on this deal. $50,000 right now, and I have the tools already. And then a picture of my front yard, and the new dent on my car clearly visible. A heavy knock on the door nearly gave me a heart attack. I leapt to my feet immediately, adrenaline propelling me through my bedroom door, over my bed, and under it on the far side. Dust bunnies on the wood floor scattered as I invaded their burrow. The stranger began banging on the door, the noise getting angrier and angrier until it seemed like it was throwing its body at the door in an attempt to break it off its hinges. And then silence. I cowered in the cramped space under my bed, wondering why I had the bright idea to store so much stuff here, until the meaning of silence set in. While the man who wanted my skin had been knocking on the door, I could use the noise to determine his exact location. Now that he had stopped, however, and then I heard a tapping on the glass of my bedroom window, where I was hiding. I poked my head out from under the bed. I looked through the window, and what I saw a man, red in the moonlight. Not ruddy, not flushed with anger or effort. He shined a glistening crimson, muscles bared, steaming to the cold night air. His teeth were bared and his eyes were wild. I don't know if he even had lips to cover his teeth, or even eyelids. Then he punched through the window. He jammed his arm forward through the window's glass and reached for me. His hands. Somehow I managed to leap out from under the bed and ducked under his flailing arms and kept running. The tinkle of broken glass behind me told me that the man of red was climbing in after me. I wasn't safe here anymore and I needed to get away. I saw the open door to the basement and made a split-second decision to duck inside and inch it closed as quickly as I dared. I had no idea if there were more of them out there, salvering for just a piece of my skin to cover up their naked wrongness. Maybe that man, that thing would think I would run outside instead of into the basement, too excited for the chase to consider my hiding place. I clutched the cold doorknob tightly, there at the top of the darkened stairway, hardly daring to breathe. No quick thumps to show a quick pursuit in the wrong direction. Silence. And in that silence, I dropped my phone down the stairs. The clatter felt enough to wake the dead, and I knew he had heard. The earnest thumps on the door began almost immediately, accompanied by a high-pitched, keening cry. The creature yearned so strongly for what I had taken for granted all my life. He could hardly contain himself, as if every second without it was agony. Perhaps it is. That doesn't mean I'm not going to brace myself up against this door until he breaks it down, or until help arrives. The police are on their way, but they're still 20 minutes out. This might be the last thing I ever write. Every impact jarring me as I frantically write my story. This might be the last thing I ever write. Every impact jarring me as I frantically write my story. I don't know why I'm writing this. Perhaps so I'll be remembered, or simply be ready for what is coming. I guess we'll see what I'll do with my $50,000.